I've just followed his music for a long time. I only have one recording, but it's some of his big hits.
Merle Haggard was never afraid to speak his mind. While he respected many in country music, there were 5 singers he simply couldn't stand. Their sound, their style, something about them just did not sit right with him. Want to know who made the list? Join us as we reveal the names that will surprise you. Number 5, Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton was surprised by how special the moment felt. It was January in Los Angeles, but he felt like it was Christmas morning in his heart. The arena was huge, the lights were bright, and the energy was unlike anything he had experienced before. However, what stood out to him was not the crowd or the applause.
I was writing pretty good, and it was right after she and I had gotten married, and
it was the presence of Kris Kristofferson, Willie Nelson, and Merle Haggard standing beside him on stage. Blake did not just see these performers as regular people. He saw them as incredibly important and influential figures in the music industry. They were more than just famous country singers to him. They were the inspiration behind his decision to start playing the guitar. Being in their presence was not just an honor for him, but it felt like he was living out a surreal and unbelievable experience. The Grammy Awards are usually important, but this particular night was special. It was more than just a ceremony to give out awards. It was a time for people from different generations to come together. The crowd saw 4 country singers from diverse backgrounds come together in music, and Blake couldn't stop smiling. His eyes gleamed with admiration, and he felt a lot of respect. He had always admired them, and now he was performing with them on stage. The show started with Willie Nelson and Kris Kristofferson performing The Highwayman, a song with a rich history. It was once sung by a famous group that included Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings. The spirit of the song lived on that night. Next, they sang a lively rendition of Mamas Do Not Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, and the audience happily joined in. Even Merle Haggard, known for being laid back, had a good time. During practice, he entertained everyone by mimicking Willie's unique singing style, making everyone laugh and easing the tension, making the moment more enjoyable. At last, the excitement filled the stage when all 4 singers came together to perform Okie from Muskogee, one of Merle's most famous songs. The atmosphere was buzzing with energy. The audience stood up in excitement, and Blake Shelton was experiencing a moment that he knew he would remember forever. To outsiders, this performance may have appeared basic, but to Blake, it held great significance. It represented the roots of country music, taught important lessons about history, pride, and tradition, and showed that hard work and humility can lead to realizing dreams while remembering one's origins. Merle Haggard, who was quiet and reserved, spoke sincerely after the show. He expressed how meaningful it was to sing with his friends. As he gets older, each moment on stage becomes more valuable. Having his son, Ben Haggard, join him in the special Grammy moment made it even more significant. Ben, only 21, was already showcasing his guitar skills, just like his dad. Seeing father and son perform together brought extra warmth to the evening. While Merle appeared happy during the show, he had underlying emotions that were hard to overlook. He took pride in his music, beliefs, and journey. Despite admiring others in the industry, he felt increasingly disconnected from the emerging country music scene. Blake Shelton was a very popular singer in recent times. His music could be heard everywhere and his fans loved him. However, Merle found it hard to accept the change that Blake represented. It wasn't that Merle did not like Blake as a person, but he felt that Blake's music did not have the same authentic country feel that he was used to. Merle grew up in a time when country music shared real stories, like heartbreak, hard times, family, and faith. The songs were simple, yet meaningful, reflecting the lives people led. The country music Merle knew included steel guitars, dusty roads, and worn-out boots. But when he listened to newer songs, like Blake's, he felt they lacked the authentic stories and soulful grit of the past. Blake once made a comment that made things worse. He referred to older country fans as old farts, while defending new country music. This hurt not only Merle, but also all the legendary musicians who had contributed to the genre with passion and hard work. They felt disrespected by the comment, which was especially important to Merle as he valued respect above all else. However, despite their contrasting styles, Merle arrived that evening. He performed with passion. He joined Blake on stage because he had faith in the ability of music to unite people. He understood that music doesn't necessarily have to be similar to be significant. Even though he may not have resonated with Blake's music, he appreciated the dedication it took to perform on stage. Blake always recognized that he wasn't as famous as the legends. He was grateful for the opportunity he had and never tried to be like anyone else. Instead, he just tried to pay tribute to those who paved the way before him. In his unique way, he succeeded. The show finished with loud clapping in the stadium. Supporters cheered, took pictures, and were moved emotionally. 4 country singers were on stage, each with a unique voice but singing together in perfect harmony. The past and present came together for a short moment during the performance. Blake Shelton saw his dream come true. Merle Haggard remembered the past, and the world witnessed a special moment in country music history that would be remembered. Number 4. Chzn Aldine. Country music has always been beloved by its fans. It is famous for its uncomplicated melodies, sincere words, and stories that resonate with people. For a while, country music was thought of as authentic, emotional, and connected to the experiences of ordinary folks. However, in recent years, this perception has begun to change. Chzn Aldine is one of the artists driving this transformation. Chzn Aldine became famous rapidly. He introduced a new style of music that was louder, more assertive, and emphasized energy over emotion. Although some fans supported him, not all country music insiders were happy. One person who openly criticized him was Merle Haggard, a respected figure in the genre. Haggard thought that Aldine's music strayed too far from the traditional values of country music. Aldine's music was known for its strong beats, flashy stage effects, and memorable choruses. Haggard felt that Aldine's performances were more like an act and did not reflect real life. He believed that Aldine was more focused on fame and making hit songs for the radio than sharing authentic stories. Haggard thought that country music shouldn't prioritize commercial success, but should instead focus on honesty. He felt that Aldine's songs, particularly his recent ones, were lacking in authenticity. The song "Try That in a Small Town" generated mixed reactions when it was first released. While some praised it, others were surprised by its content. The lyrics focused on the idea of protecting small towns from external dangers, but it wasn't just about celebrating small-town living. Instead, it seemed to serve as a cautionary tale. The message was delivered in a forceful manner, implying that individuals bringing urban issues to small towns would be confronted with aggression rather than hospitality. Aldine's song depicts a world where city dwellers cause disorder in small towns. He implies that small communities should be prepared to protect themselves. However, his tone comes across as more of a call for action rather than a peaceful message. Instead of embracing the positive aspects of small-town life such as warmth, unity, and tradition, the song focuses on fear and division. It separates people into us and them, creating an atmosphere of conflict rather than comfort. When Aldine put out the music video for the song, tensions escalated. The video featured protests, waving of flags, and clashes. It was recorded outside of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee. While some might see it as just a regular courthouse, those aware of its history were angry. Back in 1927, there was a tragic event near the courthouse where a young black man named Henry Choate was violently executed by a group of white people. He was pulled through the streets and then hung from a window of the courthouse. This was a terrible chapter in American history. The decision to film a video about violent resistance at the same location sparked worries among many. People thought it was not only insensitive, but also disturbing. Aldine and his video director should have been more careful with their choice of location, even if they were unaware of the history behind it. Every aspect of a production is important when it will be seen by millions of people. Artists have a responsibility to consider the impact of their messages and decisions. Whether intentional or not, using the courthouse in the video conveyed the wrong message and brought up painful memories for many viewers. It made the video feel like a threat instead of just a song. Aldine's fans may argue that he was defending traditional values and showing support for small-town life. However, the song and video seemed to convey a different message. Rather than uniting people, it seemed to divide them. It did not come across as a joyful celebration, but more of a caution to outsiders to stay away. Merle Haggard was concerned because he saw country music changing, with artists like Aldine leading the way. Country music was supposed to be honest and soothing, but Aldine was using it to divide instead of unite. This shift in the genre must have been disappointing for Haggard. The situation with Aldine is complicated because he has a loyal fan base who love his bold and unapologetic music. Fans appreciate that he speaks his mind even when others won't. However, being bold doesn't necessarily mean being correct. When music starts making people feel uncomfortable or unwelcome, it raises the question of whether something valuable has been sacrificed. Aldine's song, "Try That in a Small Town," sparked discussion not only because of its lyrics or video, but also about the direction of country music. People are debating whether the genre should stick to its roots of truth and storytelling, or if it should become more flashy and controversial. These issues extend beyond just one artist and are at the core of what defines country music and its future. At the heart of everything is a man who knows how to attract attention. Chzn Aldine is good at attracting large crowds, selling albums, and making news. However, in the process, he has created a divide between traditional and modern country music, between calm confidence and bold showmanship. Whether intentional or not, he has highlighted the significant changes in country music, and not everyone is happy about it. Ultimately, the song may no longer be popular and the controversy may die down. However, the important questions it brought up will remain. For those who recall the roots of country music, these questions should be revisited continuously. Number 3. Florida Georgia Line. Merle Haggard always spoke up if something did not seem right. Throughout his life, he was known for being honest, determined, and deeply emotional. He did not just perform country music, he embodied it. That's why, as he grew older, Merle became increasingly dissatisfied with the direction of country music. The authentic honesty and genuine stories that defined his career were being replaced by flashy songs, party themes, and superficial lyrics that left Merle feeling disappointed. As country music changed over time, a different style of music became more popular.
I've just followed his music for a long time. I only have one recording, but it's some of his big hits.
This new sound was louder, shinier, and less focused on emotional lyrics. Singers started writing songs about having fun at parties, drinking beer, and trying to impress girls. The main topics now included trucks, tailgates, and enjoying short-term pleasure. Merle thought this new style wasn't real country music anymore. To him, it felt like a betrayal of everything the genre used to represent. Merle was open about his opinions. He criticized the modern country singers who focused more on being fashionable than on telling impactful stories. He thought the music lacked soul and meaningful content. The songs had forgettable melodies and lacked emotion. Merle believed that music should be heartfelt and have significance. Otherwise, it would be pointless. Merle was frustrated with Florida Georgia Line, a popular country duo. While they were seen as fun and exciting by many fans, Merle found their music shallow. He thought their songs were all about partying and lacked depth. Merle believed their music was designed for instant popularity, not for meaningful impact. Florida Georgia Line embodied everything that Merle disapproved of in the evolving music industry. Their music contributed to the rise of bro country, a genre where young male singers primarily focused on themes of partying, tailgating, and pursuing romantic interests. Merle viewed this trend as a diluted version of authentic country music, lacking depth and meaningful content. The songs produced by artists like Florida Georgia Line lacked authenticity and emotional impact, failing to connect with listeners on a deeper level. Merle had faced tough times in his life. He had been to prison and experienced hunger. He also knew heartbreak, loss, and regret. His songs were a reflection of those difficult moments. This is what captured people's attention and evoked emotions like sadness or joy, reminding them of loved ones. His music had a lasting impact, lingering in the mind even after it ended. Merle believed that country music should be honest, even if the truth was painful. He did not see that authenticity in the new songs dominating the airwaves. However, even though he was angry about the current music style, Merle observed that many newer singers still included his name in their songs. Some did this as a form of respect, wanting to pay tribute to the impact he had. Others mentioned him just to appear genuine, even though their music did not reflect his beliefs. A track by Florida Georgia Line even referenced him in a lyric about blending hip-hop, drinking games, and casual sex. To Merle, this was offensive, not praiseworthy. Despite being mentioned in numerous songs, Merle did not feel personally connected to them. He wasn't interested in being seen as a symbol or point of reference. Instead, he wanted to see country music go back to its origins. He hoped that young artists would be inspired to write songs with genuine emotion. His focus was on making a meaningful impact rather than just seeking fame or success. Certainly, not all new country musicians bothered him. A few still maintained the essence of classic country in their music. Eric Church was among those exceptions. He admired the origins of the genre and aimed to preserve its essence. Merle found sincerity in Eric and even collaborated with him on a song that honored the authenticity of true country music. This was a glimmer of hope for Merle amidst a lot of disillusionment. Merle respected Gretchen Wilson, an artist who sang about traditional values, family, and hard work. Her song resonated with Merle, and he proudly collaborated with her because they shared the same beliefs. This partnership reminded him that there are still people fighting for the same truth he believes in. Merle believed that country music was more than just a form of entertainment. It was a way to connect with others. He saw it as a platform for giving a voice to those who were often overlooked, and for honoring the full range of human emotions. But when he listened to modern radio, he felt like this depth and authenticity were missing. He was disappointed to see the industry shying away from songs with strong messages or emotions, feeling that they were being dismissed too quickly. In his last years, Merle became increasingly vocal about the state of country music. He wasn't just angry for the sake of it, he was upset to see something he loved transformed into something unfamiliar. He hoped the younger generation would appreciate the true essence of country music, rather than just the superficial aspects like image and money. Despite feeling let down, Merle continued to have faith in the influence of quality music. He was aware that it could continue to touch people's hearts. He wished that eventually the music industry would return to focusing on meaningful storytelling, sincerity, and substance. Perhaps there was a chance that someone who listened to the music would be inspired to pick up a guitar and create a meaningful song, just like he once did. Merle Haggard may have passed away, but his voice continues to resonate. His songs still have meaning. His impact remains strong compared to the superficiality of contemporary music. He was more than just a singer, he reflected real life. Although he may not have approved of the direction country music took, he will always be remembered as one of the reasons why it was once exceptional. Number 2. Kenny Chesney. On the evening of April 6, a large country music celebration was scheduled to take place. It was not just any ordinary show, but a night dedicated to love, memories, and music that embodied the spirit of a legendary artist. This event, named Sing Me Back Home, the music of Merle Haggard, was designed as a heartfelt tribute to commemorate the life, music, and impact of Merle Haggard. The timing of the event added an even deeper emotional element, as it coincided with what would have been Merle's 80th birthday. The event took place at the well-known Bridgestone Arena, featuring popular music artists. It was more than just performing songs, but also a tribute to honor the musician who created many cherished tunes. The performers included both established country stars and new talent, all coming together to honor the legendary artist known as the Hag. Famous musicians, including Willie Nelson, Kenny Chesney, Miranda Lambert, John Mellencamp, Dierks Bentley, Loretta Lynn, the Avett Brothers, Warren Haynes, Casey Musgraves, Lucinda Williams, and Merle Haggard's son, Ben Haggard, were scheduled to perform. Each artist had their unique style and personal connection to Merle Haggard. However, they all came together to honor and express gratitude to him. Willie Nelson came up with the idea for the tribute. He felt that something should be done after Merle passed. He wanted people to remember Merle not just for his music, but for the person he was. Willie wanted the tribute to be a joyful celebration with music, laughter, and dancing. He envisioned a room filled with guitars, steel strings, and harmonies that would honor Merle. Keith Wortman, a music producer known for organizing concerts with top artists, made Willie's vision come true. As the anniversary of Merle's passing drew near, Teresa Haggard, Merle's wife, decided it was the right time. Despite the challenge of planning a large event, there was a special energy surrounding the project. All the artists contacted immediately agreed to participate without hesitation. They were all eager to honor Merle with this special tribute concert. Kenny Chesney had a special connection to the night because he had always looked up to Merle. As he was growing up, Merle's music played a significant role in his life, feeling as though Merle was speaking directly to him through the radio. Merle's songs touched on real-life experiences, pain, and struggles, resonating with Kenny on a personal level. To Kenny, Merle was more than just a famous country singer. He was someone who could relate to the challenges faced by everyday people. However, Chesney greatly admired Haggard. Merle did not always share the same appreciation for modern country artists. Merle had strong opinions about the direction of country music and was vocal about it. He thought that the newer country music sounded too polished and clean. Merle believed that true country music stemmed from difficult experiences such as tough upbringings, prison time, failed relationships, and life lessons. Merle did not hear much of what he liked in today's popular radio songs. When he listened to artists like Chesney singing about beaches and positivity, Merle did not feel a strong emotional connection. He saw it as country music lacking the rawness, pain, and heart that he believed it should have. Merle thought country music should be about real life, not just a happy escape. Despite their differences, Chesney still performed for the man who influenced the genre. The show's beauty lies in its focus on love rather than personal preferences. Each performer brought their unique story, memory, and way of expressing gratitude. Some were raised listening to Merle's music, while others had the opportunity to meet, perform, or collaborate with him. Overall, it was a tribute to a legendary figure who influenced many. The tribute was made even more special by the performances where artists collaborated in ways that are not often seen by fans. Singers who do not usually share the stage came together to pay homage to Merle. Their voices harmonized in unique ways, and songs were given new interpretations without losing their original essence. The outcome was an evening filled with unexpected moments, heartfelt emotions, and sheer happiness. It was more than just a concert, it was a moment in time that will be remembered. Merle's journey was reflected in every song he performed. The music covered themes like heartbreak, tough times, freedom, and finding peace. The audience did not just hear the songs, they felt like they were a part of a larger experience. They felt connected to Merle's personal story. Watching his son, Ben Haggard, perform on stage evoked even stronger emotions. Ben not only sounded like his father Merle, but he also embodied his spirit. His performance served as a powerful reminder that Merle Haggard's legacy lives on through his family, his fans, and all the musicians who have been inspired by his music. By the end of the evening, it was evident that even though Merle Haggard had passed away, his music would live on. The tribute was not just a way of remembering him, but also a way of continuing his legacy. This involved sharing the stories, sounds, and spirit of a man who always stayed true to himself. Sing Me Back Home was more than just a performance. It was a heartfelt message. Each musical note and word felt like a gentle reminder from Merle Haggard that he lives on through his music, memories, and in the hearts of his fans who appreciate country music. Number 1, Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan is open about himself and enjoys simple activities like hunting, fishing, being outdoors, having bonfires, and drinking beer with friends. These experiences inspire his music, which is not about rebellion or heartbreak. Instead, his songs focus on things like sunshine, trucks, country roads, and having a good time. This is what he is familiar with and what he sings about. When people began labeling him as an outlaw country singer, he made it clear that he did not identify as one. He did not engage in reckless behavior, dose use, or live a fast-paced life. This lifestyle was not his world, and it was not the type of music he intended to create. Luke saw outlaw country as something reserved for legendary figures like Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and Merle Haggard. While he respected these men, he acknowledged that he wasn't cut from the same cloth and did not try to emulate them. Sometimes, Luke struggles to communicate his thoughts effectively. In a recent interview, his message was misinterpreted by some fans. His intention, to be honest, was perceived as criticism by some. This misunderstanding quickly spread on the internet. Some fans believed he was disrespecting the heroes of country music. Others thought he was trying to distance himself from the genre's origins. Overall, the situation turned into a big mess of confusion. Luke attempted to correct a mistake by addressing it on social media. He clarified that his intention was never to offend anyone. Luke expressed admiration for his musical idols, Willie, Waylon, and Merle, and simply wanted to highlight that his career choices were unique. Despite his explanation, some individuals refused to move past the error, causing Luke emotional pain. He cared deeply for his fans and aimed to ensure their happiness. However, he came to terms with the fact that not everyone would appreciate or comprehend him, which was a challenging realization for him. The timing was not good. His new album, called Kill the Lights, was set to be released soon. He had put a lot of effort and emotion into it, as he usually does. What do you think about Merle Haggard? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more celebrity gist. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.